Alright guys, so we're here today on Marshlands. We've got Varadha in the blue trunks as Greeks, up against Tempires in the yellow as Norse. So they've both played a game or two apiece today. Varadha having played versus Indoors and myself. Tempires also having played versus myself. So now they're facing off against one another for the gold today. Varadha going to go on the hunt by the looks of things with all 5 villages. So I'm assuming he's going to go for a storehouse on the wood too. A bit indecisive with these guys here. Tempires is going for early wood, so he wants to get the early barracks, get the early map domination. Being Norse, he's using the scout to build it, the melee scout that is. And have these guys just about all go on the food, maybe leave 1 or 2 on the wood like he's doing. Although I like to have them on the food just to make sure you've got the spear production, and then put the next ones on wood and gold. The Tempires, well, Varadha actually distance gathering wood. Well, not distance gathering, gathering from the straggler trees around the initial hunt there. So he might be able to go for an early-ish barracks anyway. Slightly delayed, considering Norse has one of the slower barracks starts. Greeks should be slightly faster. But in any case, both our players be looking to play fairly aggressively here. Varadha have some more defensive, but ooh, he's put the barracks down, but he didn't have anyone actually building at it, so he's probably going to want to catch up a bit here, because he's going to be down a spearman or 2 by the time he's finished here. Tempires has got the resources for another spear, he's just not training one at the moment for some reason. He's definitely got the resources, and he isn't pop blocked there, so he's actually probably over-queued one there, could have queued up another villager instead. Not going to have to worry about getting population blocked though, because the longhouse, got any resources there. I think that it's been reduced from 100 at some point. So, not so difficult trying to get their houses now. Overall it does save you 10 wood, instead of having to get 2 houses. But it is a big initial investment, it can be quite hard to maintain the eco, a lot of players find. Tempires got a few spearmen out. Varadha just training his initial spearmen, so we'll definitely be a little bit slower on that. A lot of water here for our players. We can go to a fair bit of fishing. Tempires getting a fair bit of wood now, he'll be able to go towards his age up. And he'll be looking at pushing here. I think he knows he's got a bit of an advantage here, but this is the wrong way to be running in here. I think he's going to take a fair bit of damage on the way in. And on top of that, Varadha's already shifted onto a second hunt here, so this is a bit preemptive. It's nearly run out over here, but even still, well, it's a bit of a risk, because if Tempires had have gone the right way there, because this is what I mean, his reinforcements are now just going to get killed. If he sets a rally over here, he's safe, and it also means he denies this hunt on the way through, which is Varadha's only other hunt, so a bit of a push, an error in the positioning of the push there. He probably just needed to come in from this angle. It would have told him off all about this earlier, wouldn't have taken that damage from the TC fire, but Tempires at the moment does still have a spear advantage. He just needs to bring everything together. And he is denying a lot of food gathering, though Varadha mainly struggling for wood at the moment. Both players 30 pop, 19 vils apiece at the moment. Looks like Varadha is slowly winning the spear fight here. So Tempires backing off, but Varadha only just... Tempires winning the spear fight, but he's housed at the moment, only just now getting a couple of long houses. And focusing on the storehouse instead of the army. He's going to lose a couple of spearmen there. So this gives Varadha a bit of breathing room. Varadha's out of gold though, and Tempires has overgathered a bit of gold. He's got plenty of gold gatherers at the moment. Probably needs a few more food gatherers or wood gatherers. Let's start on that fishing eco. Varadha chasing Tempires back to his base. Got plenty of stone though. He's 9 stone gatherers. He's already over 400. He needs to get on top of that immediately. Get some of those guys on gold. Get a few on food or wood. Maybe both. Just get H2. Get the second TC. Get the production rolling. Because right now he's definitely over-gathering stone. Tempires, in the meanwhile, no stone. He's gathered a little bit too much gold, probably. He might need to spend maybe about, 50 or so when he ages up getting the upgrades he wants. Maybe 75 if he gets the dock and goes for fishing boats once he upgraded fishing speed. So 230 gold, probably a bit excessive, but I think he's definitely slowed that down now. Starting to gather stone, although probably a bit heavy on the food gathering. H2 on the way for our Norse player. The Greek player, H2 a little bit quicker. He is housed at the moment. Does need to get some gold if he wants to keep military going, which he's going to do. The player's taking a fight. Varadha, bit of a risky spot to be gathering there. He is going to throw away these spears, unfortunately. Tempire is surging ahead on the population at the moment. Mostly in army. He's only up by 1 spearman. Varadha trying to go for the dock. I think he'll be able to get away for it in the short term, but Tempires still have his scouts? I think he does. Yeah, Tempires has still got at least one of his scouts. He's trying to find somewhere to engage on Varadha's base here. Second TC going up, but it's a very risky spot. We'll lose a couple of villagers perhaps, but Varadha is just about everything here already. So even if he does lose a vill or two, should be able to garrison the rest. And the TC is finished. Tempires on the other hand. 1 barracks for the time being. He does have 300 stone though. So he's going to go for his TC as well. Varadha needing a fair bit more food here. He's going to add some more fishing boats. But he definitely needs to work on that food eco. He's not training any villagers at the moment. Tempire's over gathering on food and not enough gold to actually sustain his army. He probably needs a storehouse and 1 more gold gatherer there so he can actually support 2 barracks production. But in the meanwhile he is finishing off that second TC, so that's going to eat up a few villagers. He's only got the 5, I suppose. The players do have scouts available. Don't think Tempires is aware of any fishing here by Varadha though. So this will come in handy for his economy. Get 2 or 3 or even more boats and really start to pull ahead there. He did have the quicker second TC, so 23 villagers to 28 though in favour of Tempires because he has had consistent villager production just about. While Varadha has had a couple of blips in his production here. He's only training from 1 TC at the moment, which is, you know, sort of makes going for the second TC not worth it because you could have had military production instead. Otherwise, rally these guys all the way over here. He needs to get them doing something. Oh, he's going on the wood. Oh, because he wants double fishing boat production. He needs to be careful though, because Tempires is well ahead on population, and if Varadha has a lot of water pop, then he really doesn't have anything on the land. Not the best of engagements there by Tempires, just sort of throwing away one. He's pinching a hunt off Varadha, but sort of his distance gathering, this is like the worst one he could be gathering there. Didn't really scatter the hunt. I mean, didn't kill the hunt with the scout, and it's scattered everywhere. Varadha training. He's got 2 boats in 1 dock and not 1 in the other, so it's not great. Tempires is going to start fishing. His second TC's finished off now. Perhaps over-queued villagers at the moment. Probably wants to start military, ramping up military. He's going to get skirmishes here. Interesting choice. Considering the next building from Varadha isn't an archery range, it's actually a stables here. And another barracks, so The skirmishers are actually... Varadha doesn't even know, and he's sort of blind countered Tempires here. So the skirmishers are not going to be all that great against the infantry. In fact, just having more throwing axemen is, or more spearmen to actually fight off these saris. The skirmishers are really going to be blind countered here. But I think Varadha might have enough of an eco advantage here. I mean, Tempires might have enough of an eco advantage over Varadha. He's fishing well, but he's just not consistently producing villages at the moment. I think it's really letting him down. Got a fair bit of army on the way, but... And he does have the food to keep making villages, but he just isn't, and that's really costing him. Tempires, well, he's pop-capped at the moment, just about, but... He's definitely had better production here. 47 to 36 villages. Just as much of an army gap between our players, and the skirmishers are somehow winning this. The skirmishers and throwing axemen are obviously just about useless against saris. But there's just not enough of a front line, and there's no tox to actually, even though they'd be countered by the skirmishers, they're actually really necessary to actually kill the throwing axemen. So, is Tempires aware of the water here? He is of at least one of these docks. I'm going to take that one out. We'll try and snipe a boat or two first, just so he's got the units to be able to... I mean, just so he doesn't have to worry about the repair. So he's going to have to kill the wolves there before he loses anything to them. Let's snipe another fishing boat too, that's really nice for him. Very costly for Varadha, 100 wood just down the drain like that. Varadha might be best off actually catching this army before he intercepts the rest of it. Even though he'd lose the dock, he will have another dock here, and there's plenty of fish still around it. Tempires actually very cautious. He wants to take this fight with his whole army together here. This is going to work out better for him by doing so. Varadha's caught up a little bit on population though, and we're fighting over his side of the map. The Tempires has a lot of army on the way. But the saris, they're not really attacking the skirms. They don't do a great amount of damage to throwing axemen. Raiders now for Tempires. So a nice tank at the moment. Varadha will have to get spears to deal with those. They also don't have any bowmen really to counter. The Toxotes are starting to be built though. The Tempires, good eco behind this. He's got his dock eco rolling. Second dock now. 52 vills to 41. War dogs in production as well. We're on a water map, so Norse can actually start to afford the luxury of having some zero population units in their army. Particularly once you get to 160 or 180 pop, it's very handy just to have those guys to help you, deal a tiny bit of damage, tank a tiny bit of range damage, just act as a bit of a buffer for everything else. But Varadha pushing in, I'm actually going to kill a fairly good number of these reinforcements by Tempires. The main army is on the way. It's much larger. Tempires is up by about 30 population at the moment, although nearly 20 of that is in eco. So Varadha starting to get armory upgrades. Temper being the only one. Tempires hasn't actually got any armory at the moment. Just adding a fair bit more production. 130 pop to 91. Varadha, you don't want to get caught doing this at the moment. No! The Tempires a great catch here. His opponent just going for a bit of a half-hearted poke at his base. And losing an awful lot here. And Tempires is actually setting up to get merchant transports in the late game, or at least deny fishing by his opponent. Varadha trying to get a little bit of fishing done once again, but Tempires is already pretty established over here. Tempires just chasing Varadha at the moment while he takes a few upgrades. Tempires could look at going to age 3 here, I think. He's very close to having the resources. Nearly at 160 pop, so it's almost not worth staying in age 2 anymore for him. The only thing you might want to do is get an armory or 2. At the moment he's going to start that Silver Age upgrade and then probably look at adding more wood to his eco to start going forward here. He only got the stone for a TC. So he could, you know, take half those gatherers off, put them back on wood, cram in some armories, and, you know, be right for a 3rd town center. And some upgrades, because Varadha's actually starting to pull ahead on upgrades here. If he didn't have such a gap in his army size and his eco size with Tempires, he'd actually be ahead because he's got those armory upgrades, and Tempires age 3 hasn't actually kicked in yet, so... But this is a bit of a waste of a tower. There's nothing really to support it, so... Tempires is basically going to be able to take a successful fight here against Varadha. So Varadha's managed to basically bait himself going for this tower here. Because he'll lose more army, staying and fighting, or he'll lose the tower. Doesn't really offer any defensive value. Tempires just trying to harass on the land here. Maybe take out one of those docks. Really prevent Varadha from going to late game eco and being able to suck the map dry of all the resources. Tempires age up. It's kicked in. He's not got any age 3 military upgrades yet. I don't think he's gone for that 3rd TC just yet, but Varadha, it's going to be a very tough hold here for him. He does have damage for the Toxotes though, and he does have enough of them. It's really tough to actually push into his base, but he definitely needs to get triple Tox production. He is getting some more spears and hypers as well, which is good. Might want to get these armor upgrades. Just try and get to age 3 if he can. He's going to be struggling to get gold though. 15 gold gatherers, so he's tucked way over here to the right. Tempires, I don't know if he's aware, but if he does collapse on this, Varadha's eco is pretty much finished. And Tempires going for a big push, and now just taking out some non-essential buildings. This is a good villager catch here, 51 to 75 villagers. If he gets any more eco here, then Varadha is too far behind to come back, I think. He did have a bit of an opportunity, like if he really massed up the Tox well there. But I think he sort of missed that chance, and Tempires, even though he hasn't actually found a collapse on this, I think he's otherwise made a good play by, you know, just coming in here and finishing off production, just putting his opponent further behind. Can't quite fight under both TCs, but if he takes everything out around them... Tempire's not overstaying his welcome here. Fighting on the edge of the TCs once again. Yep, taking out some more production. Although, I was going to say he's fighting with the whole army, but at the moment he's not. This is not great. If he gets these guys in though, he can really finish off Varadha here. But he does have berserkers, so these guys will be really tough to deal with. Even Tox aren't going to be able to take them down terribly quickly. Bit of that splash damage as well. A bit of a flank here from Varadha. I don't know where these guys were though. He probably could have done with these guys in the initial force. Did I miss a raid or something by Varadha here? The Tempires does clean up the army, and he's got a massive lead here of nearly 100 population. Don't know if he's even gone for armor yet. Oh no, he has started getting armory, so he's closed that gap with upgrades. And he'll be really pulling ahead now. Berserker's going to be great at finishing off structures, finishing off villages, and Tempires taking the game over Varadha.